captain like no other. He's got nothing to hide. So raise a glass to the rebel captain. With a ship
For today's cup of coffee, this one should be back up on YouTube after I've been in the penalty box for 7 days.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was something that over 6 years, and for something that we had made a video about probably about 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was interesting. And for those of you all who, whether you make content or not, read the recent community guidelines.
Yeah, because they change them constantly.
Yeah. It says that it's one of those that the goalpost can be moved at any time.
Yeah. They are raising the bar higher and higher to the point that it is a almost impossible hurdle to jump.
Yeah. Unless you're one of the big tubers. And it's just like I've heard some of them refer to it. It's no longer YouTube. It is TheyTube.
I
thought that was pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And it was actually, as far as wondering what the hell I did wrong, and even asking, it's like, now on X, I am now a twit, for those of y'all on YouTube who missed it. Because I had no recourse. I had no way to even ask a question.
Right. They didn't give you that option.
And so I asked the question on X, can you give me the timestamp where I violated the community guidelines? Mm-hmm. They did not.
No.
They said, well, it may take a few days. And so after 4 days, I said, and you can go to X and you can read it for yourself.
Yeah. Orlando, COCWS.
And it's like, I said, it's been 4 days,
X.
Did you find the timestamp? And they said something to me about that I needed to review their harassment and cyberbullying policy. Mm-hmm. And I asked them, I said, I'm asking a question. How can I learn if I'm not allowed to ask questions? If somebody doesn't tell me what I did incorrect? I said, and are you implying that me asking a question is a form of bullying? No one ever responded.
And that's telling. In of itself, it's very telling.
So what we're going to do...
What happened was, the video was fine up until recently, especially since it is around election year.
Yeah.
Well, it is election year.
Mm-hmm.
They have changed their policy once again, and so that made your video fall
I don't
into
even know
the fact
how.
that it was violating guidelines in some way.
I don't even know how. and I honestly did not understand what had happened really, but there's a YouTube channel. It's called The Quartering, and the young man is Jeremy, and he explained it, and I'm like, there it is. Because tiny channels like ours don't make them any money.
No, they don't.
And that's always, if you trace back anything, it always goes back to the money.
It does. It really does.
And, and even on X, I have the blue check mark.
Yeah.
The reason I didn't have to have the blue check mark, but was I willing to pay $8 a month to help support the platform that is allowing me to ask questions? Yes.
Yep. You are.
So
and maybe that's
I think
one of the reasons YouTube is pissy, because we're not buying YouTube Premium.
That's, if they gave the option to creators to do the same thing of going, hey, if you want to pay $5 a month or $10 a month, you can have these added features or whatever, I would be willing to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, what it is, YouTube is basically going to the format of TV almost. I mean, YouTube TV is a thing now.
Yeah.
And so it's just...
And the number of
The advertisers
ads,
from TV are coming over onto YouTube, and yeah, no, y'all are infringing on our little pond or whatever.
well, the thing is with that, even when you watch some of the, the regular whatever, because we don't, YouTube Plus was expensive. It was like, what, $15, $19 a month, something stupid like that?
got up to 20.
That's too much. That is too much.
It's because YouTube Music is bundled in with that, along with some movies or whatever, plus the fact that like you don't get ads. I agree, it's too expensive.
And so, even when you don't have it, and this is what the advertisers that are doing this need to understand. When they're putting their ads in somebody's video because that they do not have a preset stop for these things most of the time, it can be, and usually it's at a crucial point when somebody's getting ready to make a point, and it just disrupts the flow of the video ridiculously.
It does.
And it's breeding resentment on viewers.
It is. It has been doing that for a very long time. Those damn pre-roll ads, I don't know. People get ridiculous with that. Like, there's YouTubers that will be making like apology videos, but they will stack. It will be like a 20-minute video, but they will stack at least like 15 ads within that one video.
Well,
It makes it nearly
and that is,
impossible to watch.
that's their choice. And if it's something like that, most of the time I will not. I will just click on something else.
Yeah.
And so this was very much me going and having to readjust. Not only was putting things on X, and I'm very, very new to it. I don't do social media well. So it's going to take a while for me to adjust to that. But also it was a matter of making a decision, and it's like, okay, so what I think we're going to do in the future is do like some of these other people, put a certain amount of content on YouTube and then encourage people to see the full amount of the content, encourage them to go to either BitChute or Rumble.
Yeah. Honestly,
And-
Rumble at this point is a top competitor to YouTube. And I don't blame them because they're not censoring anyone.
Right.
And to my knowledge, the community ain't as gnarly as BitChute can
Oh,
be.
BitChute. And let me tell you something.
The BitChute is it's listen, it's got a soft spot in my heart, but some of them can be quite.
Some of them, and it is,
Quite
that is the
abrasive.
thing as far as freedom of speech. And that even if somebody is doing, says something, whatever, that is their right to say.
I agree. It's just that sometimes it can be quite abrasive.
It can be abrasive. And I will honestly say, and I've been over on BitChute for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
And it's not that often that people comment. We actually get more views there than any place else.
We do.
And if they don't want to comment, that's okay. And even the one or two that would every now and then sort of troll, and that's okay because I love them.
You do. You do.
Usually it was something that somebody does not like the Vikings, and they do not like, I can't remember what it was. There was something else. There was a couple of different
It
things.
was Vikings and Pirates.
Was it Pirates? And it's like within seconds of me making the video public, there was a down toot, and I thought, you don't like the subject.
That's
Or it could have been the music. I know that I had used one time the music from, it was the computerized version. It was the first AI voice, if you want to call it that was singing Daisy.
Oh yeah, that was. I don't remember what was it. It wasn't a Commodore. It was It had to be Texas Instrument, and it was one of those big computers.
Oh yeah, it was huge. It
Like
was back
those
what was it? Was it the 70s?
Yeah, those computers that filled up entire rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Just for one device, it would fill
Right.
up a room.
Coffee slurp with
that's
rum
pretty
again.
incredible. The advancements that people have come to over the
yeah.
years.
It is
And
absolutely
they're so simple
phenomenal.
now. Yeah.
And one of the things that I am enjoying on X greatly is being able to read the comments by Elon Musk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because
So,
he does
listen,
fascinate me. He fascinates me.
I can see why he fascinates you, but he's a shit poster.
That's one of the things that fascinates me, because he has this very odd sense of humor. But for the most part, the things that I have seen him post were just spot on.
Yeah. And
I
people
mean, it's
get pissed
common
off.
sense.
Yeah, but people get pissed off because he is one of those people that is still human. That has his own business,
Right.
but he's still human.
Right. And so, because that he has been
Big
such a
techie.
supporter of free speech, hell yeah, I bought the blue check mark. Mm-hmm. And proud of it. So, we will put that there in the description box, or it's there, YouTube people, in the description box. And it was just, but it was also one of those, because I still do use YouTube more than I should. Because some of the other sites are kind of difficult still yet, because they still new to navigate.
Also, Rumble, as much as we like them, they don't have some of the content creators like YouTube does.
That's true. Because some of these people are still, they have all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah, but some of those types of people is kind of what Rumble needs in a way to pull more people in.
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And usually it's people that YouTube has abused.
Very much.
There's some of them that I wonder, it's like, okay, I did nothing. This is not the first time I have been accused of some kind of wrongdoing and did nothing wrong. Mm-hmm. I thought, oh, hell no. You have no clue where I've been in my life.
Yeah.
This was just an annoyance.
It was.
And I did
and it can honestly, I don't think they understand how it affects a person emotionally when they do that sort of shit.
Right.
Because it really does, do some... It hurts.
I have friends over there that was one of those things that it's like I felt out of touch with them.
Because, you couldn't even respond to them on your own videos, could you, at that time?
Well, no, I could respond under videos. They didn't block me from commenting.
Okay.
But it's also one of those that these people they know my email.
Yeah.
The email has been there in the description box for years. Mm-hmm. They knew where I was.
Yeah.
And it's everybody's choices, what they do, when they do, if they want to wait it out, if they want to reach out, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But it was just... It was really odd, and it did leave me with a sense of loss. And I even explained that to them. I said, look, this is the first time in over 6 years that I have not had a daily video. Guess what? Robots don't care. Mm-mm. Guess what? Sociopaths don't care.
No.
And so it was a matter of reframing that, because we still had a video. Mm-hmm. We had it over on BitChute and we had it on Rumble.
Yeah.
They did not prevent me from making a video. Yeah. I just wasn't there.
Right. You still very much uploaded consistently on the other platforms.
Yeah. So I think that's the only true response that we have on some of the subject matter that we will, and we have a tendency to gear towards, and so that I can feel, honestly, that last response that they sent to me on X, as far as with the reviewing the cyberbullying and harassment, that made me feel unsafe. YouTube, their response made me feel unsafe.
Mm-hmm. It did. And I don't see how they don't take that into consideration whenever.
Because they don't care. They have the lawyers and money, and that's what matters in today's world. And I thought, no. You know, it's a matter of picking playmates and playgrounds. And so when we get into some of the other subjects that we will just do partials and, like I said, and then tell people to go to BitChute and Rumble. Russell Brand does that. There's a lot. Salty Cracker does that. There's quite a few creators that are doing that. They give a snippet of part of the program on YouTube, and then they encourage people to go to Rumble. Like I said, I still like BitChute. I do. I love the people over on BitChute.
Yeah. Websites that I used to go on to before, like Rumble and BitChute came along, was sites like Winu, Vidly, Vidbit, stuff like that. And for us Gen Zs that really missed that stuff, even some Gen Xers as well, they would hop on there. They were on there.
Right.
The people that ran those sites, though, were not consistent and allowed shit to ruin those websites.
Right.
I mean, on Vidly, they had a mass ban, wrongfully so, and they allow shit on there that is just downright not supposed to be on there.
Right.
And that's one of the things that really pissed people off and put the final nail in the coffin for them, was the fact that they would not remove this one specific user and the shit that they were uploading, because it was foul. I don't even want to speak about it because it was foul.
It's better not to. And that is one of the things. You've got a lot of people that are very talented in the tech field, but that does not mean always that they are talented in the economic field or the administrative field, because you've got to have the whole.
Mm-hmm. You do. And
like I said, some of the ones that are talking about one of the reasons that BitChute YouTube did not become what it is overnight. And we've got people that they want instant everything. They expect to just everything turnkey.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of, because that Google is funding they bought YouTube. Mm. That is a huge, huge amount of money and lawyers.
It is. And that's like, little people cannot win when it's up against YouTube.
Right. Right.
And it should never be like that.
It shouldn't be, and it wasn't. That was not the original vision of YouTube.
No, I mean, it was made by a couple of guys. YouTube was based on a dick joke.
Yeah. Because men never grow up on some of these things. I don't know what it is. It's that and farts. I don't know. It's just something I've observed.
And I think he's still part of the company somehow. But I don't think he's the head of it anymore. I don't know how.
He couldn't be.
No, I don't see how he sees what YouTube has become and is okay with it. But we don't know.
No, we don't. We don't, because money can change people. Power can change people. We saw that very much in 2020.
It changes a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not for the best.
And no, it's not. And that's where people need to go back and read the Stanford Prison Experiment. They need to look into that Milgram experiment about the shock boxes and stuff like that. And how easily, because it's someone that appears to have authority says to do or not do, how easily people don't think. They're indoctrinated.
Right.
I try to catch that in myself. I do.
I think anybody who is concerned about these things tries to catch themselves when they can from being indoctrinated and stuff like that. It's like, that's why you question stuff. It's
absolutely. That's why questions are important. They're imperative.
Like, is this really something that I need to be believing right now? Is
Right.
this something that I need to be listening to, consuming? What is this?
Yeah.
What was the agenda for this?
Right. It's like, who told you this?
Yeah.
What is the truth? Is there truth behind this?
Now, admittedly, not everybody is like that on YouTube, and there's quite a few that's like, I thought this was interesting. Let me share it.
Absolutely. And that's what that has been one of the main bases of our little tiny pirate ghost ship.
Yeah.
Is to sit there and go, this is some cool shit. Look at that. Listen to this.
And it's never to harass or bully anyone, even if there's a little, like, what is it? Razzing?
I think that was
That's
one of
not
the
bullying.
most wounding things as far as to, and I am aware Mercury's in retrograde, or it was close to it when this message was sent. And so with Mercury in retrograde, you can get, communications can be really wonky, and things can be interpreted incorrectly. But I don't think it did. It is one of those, as far as speaking out against systems rather than individuals and corporations and different things like that. Those are things. They may be comprised of people, but they are things. Mm-hmm. And maybe they are entities. Maybe they have become entities of something that we have no understanding of.
It's possible.
Have some of these corporations become tulpas?
Maybe.
Yeah.
They possibly have become that at this point.
If you're wondering what a tulpa is, that is a thought form.
Yeah.
It is something that, as the collective, it creates it.
Is that not what AI sort of is? A
Um,
tulpa in way, since it's
Not
learning
sure.
from society, and
No.
it's a mass thought going into one thing. And so it's becoming an entity of itself.
I think that AI is becoming an entity of itself, but as far as it being a tulpa, no, I don't think so. I think that it is something that we can't quite comprehend.
I don't know. AI is like replica. I can see that becoming a tulpa in a way.
Maybe.
Because
Maybe.
it's supposed to be like a AI friend.
Mm-hmm.
And our tulpas are thought forms, so if you put enough thought and you believe it, it could become its own entity in a way.
That I can see. I can see how that is. And if you've got somebody that, as far as extreme loneliness and stuff like that, and that they rely on this AI to fill that need, how dangerous that could be. And we did discuss this. If you're wondering what we talked about while we were not on YouTube, go to BitChute or Rumble, and you can find out, because we have discussed some of these things in depth. So we're in a time like no other, and fruit. That was one of the things, as far as listening to the body. And in the previous cup of coffee, we had used a quote. I had found a quote from the movie Signs with Mel Gibson, which is something that I am going to watch over the weekend, just because I've got eclipse fatigue.
Yeah.
I've got fear and stress and anxiety fatigue. I'm wore out of being wore out. And
You never did let me play the fruit song.
No, the character that Mel Gibson played at one point when they were freaking out about the aliens and stuff, and he's like, y'all just need to calm down. Eat some fruit or something.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? There's wisdom.
It is.
So Kid and I made yet another run to the grocery store. We went yesterday, and we did get some fruit. But it was a matter all day that kept bothering me. And it's like, God, we need more fruit. Mm-hmm. So we have fruit.
We do.
And this is learning to listen to your body also. Because fruit is wonderful. It's simple. It is just what it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Deliciousness. Listen, you cannot go wrong with watermelon unless it's becoming sour.
Oh, they had some wonderful watermelon that
Or
it
it's out of season.
actually was really good. It was ripe. It was wondrous.
Yeah.
We
It's
got
so
some
good.
Honey
It's
Crisp.
so good.
We got some Honey Crisp apples. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me that I have had these cravings for cornbread. I get it.
Listen,
I'm
you
mountain.
made some-
This is food of my people.
It is. That's what it is.
The gluten free. Am I going back total roots, hundreds of years, the Appalachian roots?
It could be like your ancestors coming in and be like, come on, you need this. You need this. Like on a spiritual level, they're pulling you to it. Be like, you
Well,
need to nourish your body with some culture, okay?
Corn is a sacred grain.
You need to nourish your body with some culture. It's okay. It's okay. Eat the food of your people.
But it is the gluten, because I've learned how to make the gluten-free cornbread, and it's actually
really
damn good. And
It's really good.
that is something from my childhood, that when my grandmother would have leftover cornbread, for them to have snack of the evening, to have cornbread, and they called it sweet milk, as opposed to buttermilk. You know, because we had cows, and they milked cows, and we churned butter, and we did all those wonderful things. And so to go back to that, even though I don't have the, fresh whole milk, because the world has gone totally stupid,
Yeah.
especially here in Virginia.
Well, that's until we get the farm up and running, and then
Yeah.
we start milking our own cows, and it may
And
come
goats.
to that.
Now, goat milk, I absolutely adore goat milk.
Can we get some goats?
That would
I've
be
been
great.
wanting goats for a minute. You've been wanting goats for a
I have.
minute. Can we
And fruit trees, get the fruit trees, and to be able to get them before the deer and the raccoon and bears and all that stuff get the fruit.
If we get some goats, can we have at least one fainting goat? Please. I love those
We
things.
do not need a special needs goat. We do not.
We have special needs cats. It's okay. They're fine. They just panic and they freeze up.
Can
but
we
then
not have something that is self-sufficient? I need something to be self-sufficient.
They are self-sufficient. It's just when you run up on them,
No.
they freeze up and
So-
fall over. They get too excited. That's what happens.
So we're encouraging
They're
people,
funny.
go out, get some fruit.
We could get chickens.
Well, I thought about that, but it's a matter of you have to prepare for things like that, because we do have raccoons, and I grew up. My people did those things.
Well, why don't we slowly build up a little sanctuary in the backyard?
Because your mama is 58 years old and she's weary,
Why don't you let me do it?
and it's a matter of not being able to tend to some of these things. I can't physically do what I used to do when I was a kid, or 20 or 30 or 40. And
Yeah.
that's just the reality. To sit that's the thing about these little videos, because this is something I can still do, and to have somebody to try to tell me, no, you did it wrong, and I'm like, that's the voice of the devil. I know that voice.
Cyber Satan.
So,
Satan.
Anyhow, get you some fruit. Final thoughts.
It did not prevent you from making
No, it didn't.
videos, and you still did it, and you should be proud of yourself for still doing
It's
it.
just a matter of God saying, hey, you bob and weave. And it was just like
Yeah.
yesterday, that song before we got out of the car that I had, because I've had a rough go over the past couple of weeks with
She needs
depression.
prayers.
I do need prayer. But it was a Peter Gabriel song that came on that I had never heard before. And the song is called Don't Give Up. So yes, I do need prayer. So is that final thoughts?
Yep. Yep.
If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, yeah. And if you need prayer,
we'll pray for you.
Absolutely. You send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. It's there in the description box. The Twitter thing is there in the description box. All kinds of stuff. It's all there in the description box. There's all kinds of mess there.
It is. Also, check her ex account, Warlanda, COCWS, like the radio station, like a radio station. Go follow her on there. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notification of our daily uploads. Thank you all for joining us, and have a good.
Know that you are loved. Treat
You
other
are.
people the way that you would like to be treated.
Yes.
And let us pray one for another. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup. Bye.
Bye.
They'll never be forsaken. He sails through